the Empowerista interview series on business rock stars. I'm Alex Worley, joined by Elizabeth Pearson, an executive career coach. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Alex.
Yes. So I love that you specialize in getting women unstuck.
Yeah.
Because that's something every single woman can relate to, whether they've felt stuck at some point in their past or in their present. So what would you say are the top reasons why women feel stuck?
Well, I think I want to just touch on what stuck means to me. A lot of times when women get to the point where they're reaching out, seeking support through a coach, they've gotten to a point either in their career or their personal life or a blending of both where they feel a bit powerless. They feel a bit trapped by their past decisions, and they've gone so far down a road that they're almost paralyzed to identify whether it's working or not and then find a new path. And that can be really intimidating to do on your own. So I work with them to do it together. But most of the time, the top 3 ways that you know that you're stuck is if you really dread going to your job every morning. If you get those Sunday scaries, or you're just kind of like living for your weekends, that's a big red flag that something should be changing in your career path. Maybe you don't feel acknowledged by your boss. Maybe they're not showing they value you through financial means, which is really the only way they can show that they value you. So there's a whole bunch of it. But if you're dreading your job, then you really owe it to yourself to start to kind of delve within that and explore why you're unhappy and try to find, some sort of alternative. Another reason women come to me is a lot of times they have director to C-suite level positions. So these are women in very big jobs and they have a lot of demands at work. But then they're also really trying to do it all at home as well. So, this has been around forever, right? Work-life balance, there's no such thing. And these women tend to just deplete themselves to a level where there's nothing left for themselves. So they start to feel like they're going through the motions every day. So they come to me because they're at a point where they know that it's not sustainable, that they're really headed towards a burnout. So we address that. Another reason that women come to me when they feel quote unquote stuck is because they've been in a position for a relatively long amount of time, and maybe they're receiving promotions, but they don't feel like their salary is where it should be. So it's always possible to renegotiate the terms of your employment. Even if you're in, with an organization 4 or 5 plus years, it's never too late to go back to the table and really start asking for what you want and what's going to make you happy and more fulfilled at work.
So what can you say to women watching and listening right now that maybe are in a situation where they've invested a lot of time, energy, money, but they said, whoa, this is not the right thing for me? What can you tell them?
You have options. It's not too late. A lot of times women call me and I say, you're the youngest you're ever going to be in your whole life right now. So you get to decide if you want to keep going down this one-way road, the wrong direction, or if we want to acknowledge that maybe we made a mistake, but it was a learning, and turn around and find a new path. And a lot of times when I put it that way to them, it will kind of get through to them. The other thing to do, if I really need to help inspire somebody, is if they're a parent, which most of them are mothers, is really show them what are you modeling for your children? So that was my wake-up call. I was turning and burning in sales. Everything was great, making money, working with incredible brands, incredible women who ran these companies. But I was, schlepping to the East Coast every couple of weeks and missing out on key moments with my children, which everybody's done. We've all had to make sacrifices, right? And that's fine, but you really have to kind of, to your point, look at the cost on the other end of it. And at the end of the day, I'm looking at my 7-year-old daughter, Delilah, and I'm saying, you can be whatever you want, baby. You can be a dancer, this, right? We say this to children, yet mommy is doing something. She sees me cry every time I have to go on a trip for a week because I feel like I don't have choices anymore. So at the end of the day, I think as women, it's incredibly important to walk the walk. If we are talking to our girlfriends about it, or our children about it, or anybody about it, even if you're an influencer or you have a platform, it's really important to trust yourself, have faith in yourself, because you never know the ripple effect it will have on others who are watching you.
Are you seeing a lot of your clients going over to entrepreneurship?
Oh my gosh, they're such rock stars. So many women come to me, and a lot of them have actually kind of gotten they're like 50 or 50 plus, and they feel like they've just been kind of dismissed, right? And that really stings for them. And so I always ask them this question. I say, do you feel like you have an entrepreneurial spirit? And I think that's either a yes or an immediate no. And for the women who hesitate, I'm like, then that's a yes, right? If you're thinking about it, then I really feel like that's probably what your calling is. The inner alignment in you is pushing you towards that. So then we look at it and we say, are we making decisions out of a fear-based mindset? And if the answer is yes, right, I don't want to go into business for myself because I won't have the financial security of that horrible job, then those are things that we can tackle. We can actually prepare them for that. We can budget for it and make sure that they have a buffer of time so that they, even if their launch takes longer than they thought and costs more than they thought, they still feel comfortable and confident in their decision. So I think 100% there are more women who are just saying, if I don't like it, well, then I'm just going to start my own thing. And it's fabulous. Just do stuff that makes you happy.
Yeah.
It's really easy.
There you go.
We overthink it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, that is such a perfect note to end on. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. I'm Alex Worley, and this is Business Rockstars.